I did a video, why does mediocrity rise to the top? And while I'm not a super big channel, I do get several thousands or tens of thousands of views on videos, and that one's one of my bigger ones. So obviously a lot of people took an interest in that. And in that video, I use Mr. Beast as one of the examples of how mediocrity rises to the top, because his channel is the #1 channel on YouTube. And if you've ever watched it, you've noticed it's, fairly, So recently, another big channel on here, Rick Beato, talked about how there was this podcast with Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, and how he didn't know who Prince was. And here's a little clip from it.
By Theo Vaughn from his podcast. I guess it came out a week or so ago. And this blew my mind. This is music related.
A big part of getting 100 million views theoretically on a video is it something someone has seen before or not? There's this TED Talk I watched one time, and he was talking about how
he watches TED
if you're
Talk.
driving down the road, you just see a cow, you're probably not even going to look at it. But if you're driving down the road and there's a purple cow, you're going to look like 4 times. You're going to remember that. And it's kind of the same way on social media, right? Like if you're scrolling through videos, if it's something they've never seen before, like you putting a bunker underground and 2 people living in it, that is the equivalent of a purple cow on social media.
Like, how do I make something that Prince would drink milk out of,
Wait, what did you just say?
Like, how do you make something that Prince would drink milk out of? Prince musician, what's his last name?
He can't believe this.
Prince. Okay.
You know, I'm talking about Prince from Minnesota?
No.
Mr. Beast, no clue. Now, how does this guy that watches TED Talks and employs 200 people to work on his YouTube channel and gets hundreds of millions, billions of views a month not know who Prince is?
One, I think I can totally answer the question. How is it possible he doesn't know who Prince is? That's actually pretty easy. I have found that most people, and when I say most, I really do mean 99.9%. Now, I realize out of a population of billions across the globe, that still leaves millions of people who aren't like this. So you, my intelligent viewers, are probably not in this group. But 99.9% of all people, probably in history, pretty much just pay attention to whatever's going on in their life from their kind of moment of sentience, their of public knowledge, of like cultural interaction. So basically, let's say around 10 years old on, that's about when people start paying attention. This guy's 26 years old, and so around 2008, 2009, he's really starting to pay attention. And most people, once that happens, they only pay attention to anything that is happening at that moment and from that moment on. Anything that happened before just doesn't concern them. The reason it doesn't concern them is because, again, all apologies to the 99.9% out there, but most people are incurious dolts. They are. They're not curious about anything in the world that is not right in front of their face. One of my lifelong pet peeves is when you bring up something that someone doesn't know, and instead of reacting, oh, that's fascinating, I'd like to learn more, or, oh no, I've never been aware of this, let me look this up. Instead you get, that's before my time. To me, that reaction is literally the same thing as just saying, hello, I'm stupid. I'm a really dumb person. You're announcing to the world that you're incurious. You have no desire to learn. You know how much was before my time? The Beatles were before my time. Duke Ellington was before my time. Beethoven and Mozart were before my time. Shakespeare was before my time. Dorothea Lange was before my time. Emily Dickinson was before my time. Sarah Bernhardt was before my time. Nonetheless, I know who they are. But here's the thing that actually bugs me more about the video than him not knowing Prince. What bugs me even more is when he's talking about the TED Talk, like he's watching like Thomas Hobbes discussing social contract theory or something, and he's talking about this purple cow analogy. It's like it's just the wisdom of the ages. Just a little side note, wouldn't it be funny if he actually knew Leviathan, but not Prince? What's funny about that is that it's actually backwards. It's the other way around. Right after he talks about the whole purple cow thing, he's like, for instance, like, you got to give them something they haven't seen. Like, here's a bunker with 2 people forced to live in it. And it's like, no, that's exactly what people expect to see. That is total reality show clickbait territory. You can go through YouTube and you can find tons and tons, as in millions to hundreds of millions, of crappy videos out there on things like, we built a bunker and made 2 people live in it. That is total reality show clickbait crap. That ain't the purple cow, buddy. That's just the normal cow. And I got news for you, and for your TED Talk guy, the normal cow, that's what people want to look at. When you're on a road trip and you're far from home and you're driving down and you're getting hungry and you pass a local restaurant and a local delicatessen, and you're hemming and hawing, and then you see the golden arches, and what do? You pull over, and most people are just going to eat at McDonald's. You ever go into an airport or one of those food courts and there's all these little independent shops set up there? And they've got like 2 or 3 people in line. And then there's a line going all down the concourse of people waiting to get their Egg McMuffin. There's a lot of purple cows, and everybody's ignoring the purple cows because people do not like to go outside of their comfort zone. They want to drive down the road and they want to see a bunch of normal cows. And when they see a purple cow, they're going to freak out a little bit and be like, turn away, don't look. Okay, there's some normal cows to look at again. Whew. Okay, so that actually bugs me even more. The purple cow analogy is not only frustratingly stupid and wrong, that you need toddler level intellect to really believe in, but he then goes on to describe what he's doing as the purple cow, when in fact, buddy, you're the normal cow. And that's why people chime in. And that's why I'm never, ever going to be 100 million subscriber channel. I'm never going to be a million subscriber channel. I'm probably never going to be 100,000 subscriber channel. Because I'm sitting here complaining to you about pop culture and talking to you about movies. There's not much that's going to happen there. I don't set up pranks and stunts and crap like that. It's going to get me a lot of views. You're just looking at a cranky old guy talking about pop culture, talking about music, and talking about movies because I've spent my life doing that. I've spent my life as a music critic, as a film historian, as a movie critic, and as a movie maker, actor, and music composer. So that's what I'm going to talk about, and that's not going to get me very far on YouTube. But we shouldn't be shocked that this guy didn't know who Prince was because of his channel. He is focused on things that are concerning very young people in the here and the now. So that's what he's focused on. And one of the reasons he started this channel and started focusing on these things, I would presume, is because that's who he was. He was someone who was constantly in the moment and never really thinking or being curious about anything that came before that moment. And that's too bad. It really is. Because I just don't think you get very far in your life intellectually and culturally. I don't think there's a lot of emotional rewards in ignoring the past. I think if you're someone who's not curious about the world around you and about all the different cultures and all the different political systems and all the different economies and all the different religions and all the different societies all around the globe, if you're not curious about that to some extent, then there's something missing. I'll probably have several more videos along these lines over the next several months to years to the rest of my life because it is something that interests me. But for now, let's wrap it up and move on to something else. Everybody, take care of yourself. Hit like and subscribe if you do like listening to a grumpy old man complain about things. And I'll see you in the next video. Drive safely.